We live in an age of constant, unrelenting noise. From the very moment you wake up, before your feet even touch the cold floor of your room, your peace is already under attack. The light of your phone screen floods your vision with the anxieties of others, the demands of your workplace, the chaotic headlines of a world in turmoil, and the subtle, nagging feeling that you are constantly falling behind. We are living in an era where our attention is the most valuable currency, and it is being harvested from us in every waking second. We are drowning in a sea of opinions, digital notifications, societal expectations, and the crushing weight of trying to keep up with a pace that was never meant for the human soul. But pause for a moment. Take a breath. Look around you. Is the chaos you feel on the outside truly yours? Or have you simply mistaken the noise of the world for the state of your own mind? We often believe that if we just had more money, more security, more recognition, or more control over the people around us, we would finally find that elusive state called peace. We chase these external conditions, believing they are the keys to a kingdom we are building for ourselves. But we soon discover that even if we achieve these things, the peace we sought remains just out of reach, like a horizon that recedes the closer we get to it. Welcome to Marble Mind. This is not a channel for quick fixes or surface-level motivation. This is a sanctuary for those who have realized that the world will never stop its spinning, and that trying to silence the world is a fool's errand. The calm you are seeking is not somewhere out there. It is not hidden in the success of your career, the validation of your peers, or the absence of difficulty. It is already within you, currently buried under layers of habits, reactive patterns, and unexamined judgments. Today, we embark on a journey that requires courage. We are going to explore the forgotten art of Stoicism, the ancient mental framework that turned slaves into kings, and emperors into sages. This is the philosophy of those who looked at the absolute worst that life could throw at them, betrayal, loss, war, disease, and stood tall, not because they were heartless, but because they had built a fortress within their own character. Imagine, for a moment, that you are sitting in a military tent in the dead of the night on the frontier of the Roman Empire, nearly 2,000 years ago. The air is frigid. The men outside are exhausted, and the weight of an entire civilization rests on your shoulders. You are Marcus Aurelius. You are the most powerful man on the planet, yet you are deeply, profoundly human. You suffer from pain, you face the death of your children, you endure the incompetence of those around you, and you grapple with the temptation to give in to resentment. But you do not write for the world. You do not write for fame or for a book deal. You write in a journal, to yourself, in the quietest hours of the night. You write to remind yourself of what is true. These are the meditations. They are not a lecture, they are a conversation with the self. And tonight, you are being invited into that conversation. We are going to dismantle the illusion that external circumstances define your worth or your happiness. We are going to talk about how to make your mind as cold, as hard, and as beautiful as marble, unaffected by the heat of the day or the storms of the night. If you are tired of feeling like a victim of your circumstances, if you are exhausted from being a leaf blowing in the wind of other people's opinions, then this is the most important journey you will take. This is not about changing your life overnight. It is about changing the architecture of your perspective. It is about understanding that while you cannot control the hammer blows of life, you have total control over whether they crack you or whether they carve you into something greater. Listen closely. Let the noise of the world fade into the background. You are here to remember who you are. You are here to reclaim your sovereignty. You are here to build your marble mind. If you want to know why you feel like a slave in your own life, look no further than your attachments. We have been conditioned to believe that our happiness is a reward we earn by manipulating the world around us. We think, if I can just make them like me, I will be happy. If I can just hit this financial milestone, I will be secure. If I can just change how they treat me, I will finally be at peace. But Epictetus, a man who lived the majority of his life in chains, tells us that this way of thinking is a trap. He calls it the dichotomy of control. Listen closely, because this is the pivot point of your entire existence. Epictetus argued that there are things that are up to us, and things that are not. Period. Everything in your life falls into one of these two categories. And your suffering? It is not caused by the events themselves. It is caused by your persistent refusal to accept where the boundary lies. Ask yourself right now, how much of your daily stress is tied to things you cannot physically, mentally, or spiritually change? You cannot control the weather. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control whether your boss is having a bad day, or whether your neighbor respects you. You cannot even control your own body completely. You can exercise, you can eat well, but your body will still age, it will still break, and it will eventually return to the earth. When you pin your happiness on things that are not 100% within your power, you are essentially handing the keys to your soul over to luck, to fate, and to the whims of other people. Is it any wonder you feel anxious? Is it any wonder you feel out of control? But here is the hook: while you lose power over the external, you gain absolute, terrifying, and beautiful sovereignty over the internal. What is within your power? Your judgments. Your intentions. Your desires. Your character. Imagine you are standing on a ship in the middle of a violent storm. You cannot control the waves. You cannot command the wind to stop howling. If you decide that your happiness depends on the sea being calm, you will drown in your own panic before the ship ever sinks. But if you decide that your only goal is to steer the ship with excellence, to hold the rudder with a steady hand, and to face the horizon with courage, suddenly, the storm loses its power over you. The waves are still there. The danger is still real. But you? You have become unshakable. This is the Stoic fortress. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you stop being a victim. You stop being a spectator of your own life and start being its architect. But most people will never grasp this. They will spend their entire lives screaming at the rain, demanding that the world conform to their desires. They will die in a state of perpetual frustration, never realizing that the door to their prison was never locked. The question for you, in this moment, is simple: are you ready to let go of the things that were never yours to begin with? Are you ready to stop fighting battles you cannot win, and start winning the only battle that actually matters, the battle for your own mind? We are going to dig deeper into the practical application of this. Because knowing this concept is easy. Living it? That is where the marble mind is forged. Are you still with me? Because what comes next will challenge the very foundation of how you view yourself. We have established the boundary: the world is outside, and your mind is inside. But what happens when the outside becomes unbearable? What happens when tragedy strikes, when the job is lost, when a loved one is taken, or when your health begins to fail? This is where the novice breaks. This is where the average person crumbles into despair. But the master? The master practices something that sounds, at first, completely insane. They practice amor fati, the love of fate. Marcus Aurelius didn't just accept his troubles. He didn't just endure them with gritted teeth. He learned to love them. Now, let me be very clear: this is not about being a masochist. It is not about enjoying pain for the sake of pain. It is about a radical shift in perspective that turns every obstacle into the very fuel you need to evolve. Think of it like a fire. If you throw a small branch into a fire, it is consumed and extinguished. But if you throw a massive log into a fire, the fire doesn't die. It grows. It intensifies. It becomes brighter. Your life is the fire. The obstacles you face, the unfairness, the betrayal, the bad luck, these are the logs. You have spent your entire life trying to avoid the logs, trying to stay a small, flickering flame, hoping that no one throws anything difficult your way. But in doing so, you have remained small. You have remained weak. What if you stopped praying for an easy life and started praying for the strength to endure a difficult one? What if, when the worst possible thing happens, your first instinct wasn't, "Why me?" but, "How can I use this?" When you reach the state of amor fati, you stop looking at the events of your life as good or bad. You begin to see them as the raw material of your destiny. A heartbreak? That is an opportunity to learn deep empathy and self-sufficiency. A career failure? That is a chance to pivot, to humble yourself, and to build something with a stronger foundation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time." This might sound fatalistic to the uninitiated, but to the marble mind, it is the ultimate liberation. It means that there are no mistakes. There is only the unfolding of the universe, and your response to it. The people who change the world are not the ones who had everything go their way. They are the ones who were forged in the furnace of adversity and came out unburnt. When you embrace your fate, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the creator of your own meaning. You begin to walk through life with a strange, quiet confidence, because you know that no matter what life throws at you, no matter the tragedy, no matter the storm, you have the internal capacity to transmute that lead into gold. But this requires a terrifying level of honesty. It requires you to stop making excuses. It requires you to look at your failures and admit, "This is mine. This is my burden. And I will carry it with grace." Most people are running away from their destiny, afraid of the weight of it. Are you one of them? Or are you ready to pick up your cross, your specific burden, and realize that it is the very thing that makes you who you are? We are going to move now into the final stages of this mental transformation. We've covered the logic, and we've covered the resilience. But how do we maintain this marble mind when we are back in the real world, away from this video, in the middle of our daily lives? The next act will change how you see the scale of your problems forever. If you want to understand why your problems feel so heavy, it is because you are looking at them through a microscope. You are zoomed in so tightly on your anxieties, your bills, your ego, and your immediate surroundings that you have lost the ability to see the landscape of your life. When you are standing in a dense forest, you can only see the trees right in front of you, the thorns, the shadows, the obstacles. You feel trapped. But if you were to climb the highest mountain in the region, the forest would change. From that height, you would see the pattern of the trees, the path of the river, and the direction you need to take to reach the valley on the other side. The Stoics call this the view from above. It is the most powerful tool you possess for maintaining your sanity in a chaotic world. Imagine it right now. Stop looking at your desk, your room, or your phone. Close your eyes and zoom out. See your house from the sky. See your city as a small, glowing web of lights. See your entire country, then the curve of the earth, then the vast, silent, and indifferent cosmos. In this view, your catastrophic job loss, your recent embarrassment, or that argument you had yesterday, they don't vanish, but they shrink. They lose their toxic grip on your nervous system. When you live your life zoomed in, you are a hostage to your emotions. You become a person who is easily offended, easily stressed, and easily defeated. But when you adopt the view from above, you become a student of existence. You start to see that you are just one small thread in a tapestry that has been weaving for billions of years. This isn't intended to make you feel insignificant or depressed. On the contrary, it is the ultimate form of empowerment. Think about the sheer impossibility of your existence. Out of the infinite void, through the collision of stars, the cooling of planets, and an unbroken chain of ancestors stretching back to the very dawn of life, you have emerged. You are the universe waking up to experience itself. If the universe has given you the gift of consciousness, why would you waste it trembling before the minor inconveniences of daily life? Most people use their time here to complain, to judge, and to seek validation from people who are just as confused and lost as they are. They are small-minded because they have a small-mind perspective. Their entire world exists within the perimeter of their own comfort. But a marble mind is vast. A marble mind holds space for the magnitude of reality. When you practice this, something changes in your voice, in your posture, and in your decisions. You no longer react like a wounded animal. You respond like a sovereign. When someone attacks you, you don't feel the urge to strike back with equal pettiness, because you are looking at them from above. You see their pain, their confusion, and their limited perspective, and you feel, perhaps, a touch of pity instead of anger. When you face an obstacle, you don't see a wall, you see a step. But this practice has a cost. It requires you to kill your ego. You cannot be the most important person in the world and also see the world from above. You have to be willing to be nothing in order to become everything. You have to let go of the need to be right, the need to be seen, and the need to be powerful in the eyes of others. Most people are terrified of this because they think that if they lose their ego, they lose their self. But the opposite is true. You only truly find yourself when you stop trying to protect a fragile, artificial image you have created for the world. You are not your job title. You are not your bank account. You are not the opinions of your critics. You are the awareness that perceives all of these things. So, I ask you, are you ready to stop living in the thorns of the forest? Are you ready to climb? Every time the world tries to shrink you, zoom out. Every time your fear tries to convince you that this moment is the end of the world, zoom out. See the stars. See the truth of your temporary existence. There is a profound, quiet strength that comes from this perspective. It is the strength of a mountain that does not move, no matter how much the wind howls against its face. We are approaching the conclusion of our journey together, the final realization of what it means to live with a marble mind. You have learned the control, you have learned the resilience, and now, you have learned the perspective. Now, we must ask, what does this look like in the final hour, when the lights go out? What is the legacy of a soul that has mastered itself? We have traveled through the storm, we have mapped the terrain of our own control, we have forged resilience in the furnace of a more fatty, and we have ascended to the heights of the view from above. We have reached the final threshold. But before we part ways, I need you to understand one final truth: the world does not care about your intentions. It does not care about your potential. It only cares about your actions. Everything we have discussed today, the teachings of Epictetus, the journals of Marcus Aurelius, the discipline of the Stoic, all of this is mere ink on a page if it does not manifest in your life tomorrow. You have sat here for nearly an hour, listening to the echoes of ancient wisdom. But wisdom is not a possession, it is a practice. You do not have a marble mind. You act with a marble mind. Think of your life as a statue you are carving. Each day is a strike of the chisel. Each decision you make, each temptation you resist, each moment you choose virtue over ease, you are carving away the excess. You are removing the fear, the anger, the vanity, and the smallness. What remains at the end is the true you. But if you stop carving, if you let the stone of your character grow dull, the world will carve you instead. It will carve you into a shape that suits its own needs, not yours. It will carve you into a cog in a machine, a slave to its trends, and a prisoner to its anxieties. The legacy of the marble mind is not found in fame or monuments. It is found in the quiet, unrecorded moments of your life. It is the moment you choose to be kind when you are exhausted. It is the moment you choose to be honest when a lie would be easier. It is the moment you face your mortality and decide, with absolute clarity, that you will not waste the time you have been given. Do not fear the end. Fear the life that never truly began. You are a human being, endowed with the capacity for reason, for courage, and for justice. These are not just words, they are your birthright. Use them. When you walk out of this video and back into the chaos of your life, do not try to change the world. Change yourself. Master your reactions. Own your mind. And by doing so, you will become a lighthouse in a sea of darkness. If you have stayed until this moment, you are not here by accident. You are seeking something that the majority of the world is too distracted to pursue. You are the architect of your own character. Now, go and build it. We are Marble Mind. We are the unshakable. If this journey has moved you, if you feel the weight of these truths settling into your soul, then do not let this be the end. Subscribe, and join this community of individuals who refuse to be shaken. Before you close this tab, I have one final request. Comment below with a single word, unshakable. Let that be your declaration to yourself. Let that be your promise that from this day forward, you are the master of your own house. The storm is coming. It always is. But you? You are ready. Stay virtuous. Stay strong. And remember, the marble is yours to carve. Thank you for watching.